Alright, back to a brand new episode of the Broke Time Podcast. With me I have Tom Killingsworth. Tom, how you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
Doing good, doing good. Yes. So this is the first episode of 2026. So yeah, man. Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so my name's Tom Killingsworth. My real name's Thomas. I just go by Tom because I don't like the name Thomas that much. But I'm from Eufaula. I just turned 26 back in November, which was actually going to be my fun fact, is that whatever year it is, that's how old I am.
Yeah.
So that makes it a lot easier for people and for myself to remember how old I am.
Yeah. Hey.
But yeah, I mean, I grew up not really going to church, but kind of we were kind of that family that would go once a month or every once in a while, just kind of going just to fill the checkbox, kind of that thing. So it wasn't really big into doing that. But I mean, yeah, I just grew up playing sports, outdoors, fishing, hunting, and really just, it's kind of weird because before I was saved, I was kind of very quiet and very just like alone. Like I was an introvert, biggest introvert, did not want to be around people at all. And then once I got saved, it was like a total difference of personality, everything. I just became this extroverted person that really just sometimes can't be quiet. So it's kind of funny, but that's kind of just how I grew up, just sports and outdoors. And before I was saved, I was kind of a loner, kind of by myself. But now I'm kind of becoming that same person of sports and outdoors, but now I'm more vocal and really just want to go and meet new people. So
Awesome.
yeah,
Awesome. Yeah. So So we met, I think it was like 2 years ago in 2024.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was 24, 23. Yeah, it was 24.
Yes. Like I was coming out of my junior year of college, and I was interning under Anthony, and you were interning for the youth.
Yeah, at that point it was the youth.
Yeah. And so you also do like camps too. Yes, just tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I did Camp Victory for 2 summers. So that would have been the 2 summers before the summer we met. So the 23 and 22 summer. So kind of the backstory behind that, I kind of figured out about Camp Victory actually from a friend that I went to at Troy, that we were mutual friends. We went to church together, and there was also a camp that we did. I wouldn't consider it a camp. It was kind of just a retreat that we did before the school year started every year at Troy, and it's called the Living Stones Retreat. And this was kind of where incoming transfers and freshmen could kind of get their footprint into churches, into campus ministries, and kind of just get plugged in with that kind of group. So through that, I met this guy named Ben too, who he was kind of the same thing for the Living Stones. When I met him, he was kind of the video producing, like he was all the IT kind of stuff. He kind of did all that. He was the main guy that did that, and he also did like all the events that we would set up for the Living Stones Retreat. So through him, he told me about Camp Victory because the first summer that I was at Troy, my first year, I was just there. I stayed there, and it was not necessarily the most fun because no one was really there at Troy when college is out. So I knew that I did not want to stay there, which at that time it was kind of a lot. It was very stressful to go back home because there was just a lot going on at my mom's house at that time. So I didn't really want to do that either. So then I was just asking around like, hey, does anyone know anywhere that I could do like this summer? And that's when Ben too reached out and said, well, I worked at this camp for like 2 years, and it's an amazing camp. I think you should try it out. So then he got me contacted with the college guy there, which his name's Nate Smith. So he gave me his number. I reached out to him. I filled out an application to be a summer. I was actually going to be in the kitchen. I was going to work as a kitchen assistant. And once he kind of heard my testimony and I got to actually meet him, he kind of then reached out again and said, well, we think you'd actually be better as a counselor. Would you want to try that out? So then I was a counselor my first year, and then obviously I came back that second year. And then, but really it's a summer camp where you spend a total of 9 weeks and sometimes 10 weeks. So you have a first week where it's all just you're having just college staff. You're there for a week of just training, just basically training yourself to know what you need to do and prepare yourself for what kind of kids you're fixing to have come in for those next 8 weeks. And Camp Victory is kind of a camp where you mostly have a lot of younger kids. I mean, you have mostly it's like 7 and 8 year olds. Yep. It ranges from 7-year-olds all the way up to seniors. But you have, out of those 8 weeks, you have 6 weeks where it's 7 to 11-year-olds. Then you have 1 week of middle school where it's 5th grade to 8th grade. And then we have 1 week where it's 8th grade to 12th grade. So there's 2 weeks out of it where you're only having 5th graders or 12th graders, and then the rest is 7 to 11-year-olds, which is like 4th grade, I think is what we do. So your majority kids that come are those younger kids where it's like we can kind of get it engraved in them at a young age and kind of just be a good role model for them to see. Like even, especially like college, like a lot of times when I was growing up, when you thought of a college kid, you thought of like an athlete, or you never thought of like a Christian person. That's just at least what I grew up with. So for these kids to kind of have that experience, especially for me, because I didn't grow up in that kind of household or that kind of opportunity, it was amazing to see from the other side of it, being that college kid, being able to help the next generation, which that is what led to me also wanting to do ministry in the first place. But yeah, that's kind of the big picture of camp, is that it's kind of just an 8 week, sometime or 9 week, with being the training week and then 8 weeks of camp. And then we'd have sometimes an extra week where we could stay, and if there were like any projects they needed to do after summer, we would sometimes stay and help out with that, which that was always fun. Because then at that point you're just having a week of just all college staff. We just get to have fun, hang out, and have a week to do, I mean, really just service around the camp, which always was super fun. And we would always just call that week 9 of camp.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was just it's an awesome opportunity, and that's also how I got to the internship at Enterprise, because I met Caleb Wimberly there, which is the guy, obviously, that's over the internship program at First Baptist Enterprise. So he's on board at camp. So I met him because he came, I think he was a speaker for Teen Week, that was our week 4. That's like the midpoint of summer when we call it Teen Week, but that's the high school week. So he was the speaker for that week, and he came and told us, kind of just looking for prospects for the internship, of saying, hey, we have job openings for the kids ministry, for nursery, and we also have an internship program that we do have an open spot for. So obviously in that moment, because at that time, with that whole summer, I was kind of thinking, how can I get into ministry after this summer? Because I'd already graduated and I knew that I wanted to go into ministry after college. I just didn't really know what I was going to do. And that was kind of that open door, because Caleb came, and that door just opened perfectly, where Nate was like, hey, this guy's coming. He's looking for someone to do an internship, and that could be an awesome opportunity for you. And then you can kind of get to know more pastors, and that kind of just be the open door. So then I met him, we kind of talked about it, and obviously it ended up happening. But again, camp just opened a lot of opportunities and really just helped me grow, really with not only helping others, but really my own walk. I mean, camp was the place where I kind of grew in my time to have my quiet time. Because, I mean, you really have to be diligent about doing that there. Because if you don't have a set time or a set place or anything, if you don't have anything planned out of when you're going to do your quiet time, you're just not going to have one. You're just not going to have time for it. So that camp really helped me in that aspect of knowing, of having a time set of when I was going to do my quiet time and have that time alone with God, with just myself. Because, I mean, again, you can get caught up really quick in everything you're doing, and you'll miss that opportunity to have that time with God. So camp really helped me with that too. So again, I mean, camp was just an awesome place. It's just a place where you can grow, you can help others grow, and especially Camp Victory, there's just a lot of good people around that place. So
yeah, so like,
I would definitely.
Are you still doing camps? Yeah.
At this point, no. Just because it's kind of, at least from that camp, because like at that camp you're kind of, it's called college staff. So now that I'm out of college, it's kind of it's kind of that awkward point of like
There's that. But let's get into your testimony. So How did you come to know Christ as your Savior?
Yeah, so I won't go full backstory, but like I said, I kind of grew up in church, but not really. We didn't really go that much. And when I was 11, my parents split up, so that really took a toll on me, and that kind of drove me way down to where I kind of resented God for a long time, because I didn't feel like, I just really felt like God didn't love me, because in my mind I thought if my Heavenly Father, if me and Him could not have a good relationship, there was no way I could have a good relationship with my Heavenly Father. So there was a lot of resentment there, but really the wake-up call was actually getting ready to move to Troy, because I lived with my mom ever since my parents split up, and this was obviously getting ready for Troy, because I even did community college my first 2 years, but I stayed with my mom. So even then I didn't really know the full impact of what it would be like to move away and go to college. But then it comes time to transfer to Troy, and I realized, okay, I'm actually going to be on my own for the first time. And obviously the panic started to set in, and I didn't know who or what I could rely on to get through those, at least the first couple months or the first year, because I was just so nervous. I didn't know what to do. I almost just didn't even go. And then it hit me one night, because we'd always go, especially like the summer, we'd always go to like VBS. We'd go to those summer like little things that we have at our church that we would go to when I was in high school. And then I finally went, because this was, I think, this was July, almost August, so it's almost time to get ready to move. And we go to, I don't remember what they called it, but it was kind of like a VBS, but it was like a summer VBS thing. Or, I don't know, I forget what it was, but it wasn't like that week long or 4 day long VBS thing, but it was kind of like the same. It was a similar thing where we had a guest speaker come in, and this was where, it wasn't the first time I heard the gospel, but it was the first time I actually interpreted it the right way. Because obviously before I was just kind of a kid and didn't really understand what it meant, but this time I actually got it. So that's when I kind of had the notion of, okay, I know who God is. I know now that no matter what I've done so far, that God still loves me, and He is just waiting for me at this point. So then there was just a night where it hit. This was literally like 2 weeks before I moved to Troy, and I remember just going in my room, and like I just broke down. Like it was just dark. I just turned the lights off, closed the door, locked it, everything, and I just broke down, just cried out to God, just like, please save me. Like it was just kind of a whole ordeal to me. And at that time, I didn't really know what I was doing. And it literally just felt like I was being filled with something. I could just feel the Holy Spirit just pulling on me. And in that moment, I was like, I just felt something different. But it got to the point where I cried so much that I was just so tired, so I just fell asleep. But I woke up the next day, it was literally like an over the night sensation thing that just changed. Like I woke up and like everything felt different. It's kind of funny I remember waking up in the mornings, and because for some reason my window was the bird window. Every bird loved my window, but only my window. So I would always hear all the birds chirping, and it was so annoying. It got that bad. But then that morning I woke up and I was like, oh, the birds are chirping, and it was just like weird. It was like everything that I was feeling, hearing, everything was just like, okay, this is a blessing from Him. So it was like a whole perspective change. And then from there, again, like I said, basically a full 180 of how my whole life was. I literally became this person that used to be introverted, scared to go, really just scared to go talk to someone that I did not know. If I didn't know you, I was not going to go talk to you. At this point now, so my first week at Troy, so I move, and then this is where I knew something was different. This was probably the most awkward conversation I've ever had. So I was getting in the elevator to go to my room. This was also during what Troy calls Welcome Week. So this is when they have all kinds of events going on the week before classes start. And this is kind of just so you can kind of get to know people, get to just branch out and meet people and meet different groups of people. Just kind of feel out where you can kind of go and hang out outside of just class. So there's this open mic night thing that's going on right outside my dorm. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just go try it. Maybe I'll just enjoy it. I was not planning to go meet anybody. I was just going to go and hang out and just kind of just be out, not sit in my room. So I get in the elevator. This guy's standing there, and we had this weird conversation where I was like, hey, how are you doing? What's your name? And it literally was just that. I literally said that. He said his name. I said my name. And then the rest of the elevator ride was just us being silent. It was just awkward silence. Well, then I go down, and I'm at the open mic night, and just listening to them sing. It's just like random people coming up and just singing. And it's awesome. It's actually kind of nice to hear. Then I see a shadow coming up behind me, and it's him again. And his name was, obviously, it was weird too. His name was Tyler. His name was Tyler Grubbs. So it's, what a coincidence. But no, from that moment then, after that awkwardness, it was never awkward again. We went up, and then after that, we went up to his room. We played some Call of Duty, played some just different video games, just hanging out. I was like, wow. The most awkward moment of my life just became a friend that I never expected at all.
Yeah.
And we don't talk now, but I mean, for that first year, because he had some financial things going on, but he was there just that first year at Troy. But that first year, I mean, we were super close. And then from there, I mean, I was just constantly praying, like, God, just send me to a place where I can grow my spirituality and grow into a church, whatever, like all kinds of different things. Because I knew that's what I needed to stay on the path. If I didn't get plugged into those, I knew I was going to fall back into sin and fall distant away from God. So I was just sitting there praying, like, God, just send me somewhere that's going to help me grow with people and myself. And that's when he took me to the place called Christian Student Center. And then I got plugged in through that, and then through that I got plugged into the church, Bush Baptist in Troy. And, I mean, I tried different churches, but Bush's was the one that kind of just stuck. It just felt like home, felt amazing, the people were great. So then through college, I was just kind of doing that, and then since I was plugged into church, into the campus ministry, that opened opportunities, and God opened opportunities then to, again, do camps, do different things at Troy to where I could kind of be involved in different ministries and different things. And that's again where the heart and the desire for me to want to do ministry came. And again, it all goes back to that one night that God finally, or not God finally, but I finally just accepted that knock on the door that God had always been doing. And I mean, from that moment, I mean, it changed my life completely. And it's weird too, because I was actually talking about this with some friends last night. We went to one of my friends in Dothan, now where I live. He's a coach for one of the high schools, and usually after the games we'll go and eat. And we were talking about it because there was another buddy that I met as well. It was us three. We went to McDonald's after because everything else kind of closed at that time. Which it wasn't super late, but for some reason still everything closes kind of early. But we went to McDonald's. We were just talking, and some other people walked in. It was like some of their high schoolers, and we were just talking about how, like, when we were in high school, how things were different, like how we were different, how just in general everything changed. And it kind of, I pointed back and I was like, it's weird because like high school me, like the biggest thing that changed for me from then to now, and obviously not very proud of it, but I was talking, I was like, one thing that I changed the most was like how I spoke. And that was like when I was in high school, like almost every sentence was a cuss word. It was like awful. And I was like, now if I hear a cuss word, it's just like I cringe. I hate the sound of a cuss word. And it's like, yeah, that's so weird. Like how can that one little word be that powerful? And I was like, that's the transformation power of God. It's like those little things that you didn't realize had impact on you. When you have God, like those things stick out to you now, and it's like, wow, that really does affect you. Like at least for me, like the cuss words, that affected me so negatively that now, because I'm with God, and obviously I'm not saying like, obviously cussing's not great, but it's not gonna. I mean, that's not ultimately what's gonna send you to hell. It's just if you know God or not,
Yeah.
and like what your relationship with Him is. But I mean, it's just that little detail was so much for me, and it impacts me now. Like, it's crazy how much change I've actually came through from meeting God and just the person I've become because of Him. It's incredible to see. And then obviously, like, everybody that I know, people that I've known before they were saved and now after they're saved, I mean, it's phenomenal to see how much God can change a person. And it's really just all on our obedience to Him. And I mean, it's just incredible to watch and see. And I mean, you see that at camp too. I'd have 7, 8-year-olds that when I was their age, I had no idea what was going on. And these kids, kids hunger for that stuff. And when you see a kid that's 7, 8, 9 years old, they're so young, and you're sharing the gospel with them, and you can just see how eager and how much they want to hear the word and know God. It's like, that in itself is incredible to see those young kids so hungry for God, and even then, like, when you see them be saved, and even that within a week, you see a huge difference from because a lot of those kids come from rough backgrounds. So to see that change in them, and sometimes, like, it's incredible because, like, their parents will come and pick them up, and even the parents can tell a difference just from 5 days. Like, that's incredible of how powerful God really can be if you just let Him in. And it's just awesome to see. So that's kind of the synopsis of it. And there's still things that I struggle with, and obviously now I'm done with college, finished my internship. I did work at a church, and some life events happened where that kind of didn't work out, which obviously at that point there was a lot of things going on, which it was probably best for me to step away at that time. But now obviously I'm working at Chick-fil-A, using that, and as we say, it's like we're serving the Lord's chicken.
So going into my next question.
Yeah.
From the time you got saved to where you are now, what has God been teaching you?
Yeah, so what God has been teaching me the most, really is how I can really be a disciple, how I can grow in discipleship and just really help others. And not only that, but helping others also helps me. Because obviously, like we see, when Jesus came to earth, the one thing He did was He served. And that's the main thing that I want to do. I feel like God just always has taught me that. And that's always what I want to do first, is serve others. But I feel like the thing that God's working on me the most right now is learning how to actually disciple. And not only that, but kind of, like I say, obviously I am an extrovert, but sometimes, like, even then, it's kind of nerve-wracking and kind of makes me nervous to go out and share the gospel sometimes. But I feel like that's where God's kind of pointing me, like, hey, just go and talk to someone about me, just to kind of, that's where I want you to grow. So that's where I feel like God's pulling me to do and kind of working on me, is just really going to disciple, but really also helping others, especially those. I know a good bit of people that kind of grew up how I did, where they're kind of missing parents, and because of that, or just in their circumstances, they kind of run away from God. But I feel like with the story that I have and just the life lessons that I've learned, I can kind of be that spokesperson for them of why God is the right decision for them. So I feel like that's where God's kind of working on me and teaching me, and where He wants me to go now is, and not only that, but also in my workplace. Even though it is Chick-fil-A, there's still, like, we're all sinners. There's things we can always grow on. So even that, like, even being in that culture and that place, there's people that I work with, and there's even people that I see every day that come into Chick-fil-A that I could be ministering to. So I think that's just where God's kind of put me right now, is these people that you see every day. These are open doors for you to go and talk about me and grow spiritually. Just talk to them, and also the people that I work with. There's people that I wouldn't say that they're not saved, but also I'm not sure. And if I'm not sure, then why not open that conversation to find out?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's where God's kind of working me, is like use where you're at to be that open door. People that guests that come in to Chick-fil-A, talk to them. People that you work with, talk to them. Like all these different people. There's so many people that I see during a day of work. Just use those. Every single person's an opportunity. So just take that opportunity. I feel like that's where God's kind of working the most in me right now.
Awesome. Yeah, so you're working at the Chick-fil-A in Dothan, correct?
Yeah, so there's actually 2 locations in Dothan, but I'm in the one that's Ross Clark Circle, so that's the one by Sam's Club. That's the one I'm at.
Yeah, like so far. Well, like I think this past week, me and Joe, we have been to Dothan like 2 days in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the youth was like, so they went to winter retreat this past week.
Yeah.
And everybody came back with the flu and stuff like that. So
yeah,
so that's been going around for like the past 2 or 3 days. But yeah, like things are dying down now. But so like I think it was Wednesday. I think it was like a Wednesday. We had to go and get stuff like for camp stuff and other things and things for Sunday. And so yeah, we got that, and then we had. And wait, no, that was on Thursday. So I think it was the Friday after that we had to go back and get. Well, like Joe had to get a 15-passenger van.
Yeah.
So we had to go there and pick that up, and I had to drive his truck back. So
yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, we ate twice. We went to Dothan like 2 days in a row, and we ate there for 2 days in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like we didn't go to Chick-fil-A or anything like that, but like we did. So next question: if you can relate to anyone in the Bible, who would it be?
Well, it's kind of weird too, because we're actually going through this in our Sunday school class. But just from the past, really few months, it kind of feels like, at least right now, which I don't want to compare, because also like he went through a lot worse stuff. But right now, I just kind of feel like I'm in the Job. Like I feel like I can relate to him a lot right now, just because it seems like, and it's not that I feel like Satan's testing me or anything. I just feel like it's kind of in that season where it's like I have to realize that nothing is as important as God. I don't need to put anything above Him, whether it's financials, whether it's my job, whether it's even just what church I go to, anything like that. Nothing is more important than my relationship with God. And not only that, but also I feel like I'm in a stage where I need to understand that everything I have is not just from my doing. It's not anything really that I've earned, but it's everything that He's given me. So everything that I have, and not only that, but we also are kind of going through, obviously with it being the beginning of the year, we're kind of, our pastor is Pastor Ray at, I go to Ridgecrest Baptist now in Dothan. So Pastor Ray, we're kind of going through a series, and also he's kind of getting us into a topic that we're going to talk about, I think in the February 1st, first Sunday of February is when we're going to go over it. But it's kind of, he's kind of going into the importance of tithing, and really, because obviously the biggest thing that people, at least that I've encountered with, is the biggest thing that people kind of struggle with is giving their financial to God, and like understanding the importance of tithing and that kind of thing. So I feel like, and not only that, but again, everything that you own, everything that you possess is a blessing from God. Nothing that you have is just freely given. Something, because I've always been told everything is worth something. Everything, you have to pay for something. And obviously, like with God, ultimately He had to give His Son for us. So, but again, like that's kind of the thing that I feel like I'm going through is even with Job. Like, and Job never, I guess, put his stuff above God, but there's a way that we can kind of have that happen though, where it's like everything that I have is mine, but that's not true. It needs to be, it's God's. God gave you that. So I feel like that's kind of where I'm at right now. So I kind of relate to Job in that way, but also just I'm in a season where there's a lot of things that I guess kind of have gone in ways that I did not want it to. But again, that's where it comes into the obedience. Even though it's not going my way, it could be something that God's protecting me from or trying to push me through for me to grow. So instead of looking at it as, dang, why is everything bad happening to me? I need to look at it as, what kind of opportunity is he opening? Or where is this leading me? That kind of thing. So I feel like, and that's, I mean, and we see it a lot with Job too, at least in the beginning, because we're kind of going through the beginning of Job right now in Sunday school. But I mean, even like first chapter, I mean, you see God allows Satan to take everything from Job. And I mean, he's still sitting there blessing God, like just praying to God and going to him. So I mean, it's like, even in those moments when when it seems like everything is going wrong, Job laid down everything to God and gave it to God and only went to him. So even in that moment, I just feel like, even when I feel like everything is going wrong, just rely and be obedient to God. Just lean on him. Because no matter what is happening, whether it's good or bad, it all is for the greater good of him. He knows what's best for us. So even if it seems like it's bad for me, in the end, I know it's going to be good. Because whatever he has planned is going to be good. So I feel like that's kind of where I'm at right now and who I relate to the most. And that's why it's also important for me right now. I feel like it's a great thing that we're going through Job right now, because it's a constant reminder to me for that right now. Of no matter how bad things get, or even like, because obviously now, even the good things that happen, again, it's still a blessing from God. Whether it's, again, good or bad, everything's a blessing from God. So just take that and use every single thing that happens as an opportunity to learn and grow with God. So that's kind of, again, just the biggest relatable thing right now is just Job, and just knowing that everything is a blessing from God, and that everything that I own and everything that I have is not from what I've done or anything. It's just what God has given me and what God's blessed me with.
Awesome. So like a lot of people like have it talking about like, well, like it's 2026 now, and 2016 was 10 years ago, and so like, could you remember like could you remember anything from 2016 or from 10 years ago?
So
like that?
So actually, yes, I was actually thinking about this on the way up here, or I guess down, or whatever it is. But my biggest thing is, so obviously, like I said earlier, the year that it is the year that I am. So obviously 2016 comes, and I just turned 16. So obviously at this point, I'm getting ready to drive and everything. So I mean, there's a lot of things that are going good. So I mean, I got my first vehicle when I was in 2016. It was my little 2011 Toyota Tacoma, which I don't have anymore, but that little truck got me through a lot. It got me through high school, college, and a little bit of out of college too. But I mean, even then, that was just kind of the best year, really, that I can really remember. The only thing that 2016 did not have was snow. That's the only thing it didn't have. Everything else was great. I can remember 2016. I mean, the music was amazing. I mean, I was kind of in the pop scene at that point. So I mean, there's a lot of good songs coming out in 2016. So at that point too, I was big into video games. So all the good video games that I played came out. I mean, you had like all the good.
Oh yeah.
I forget which one it was, but it was like Call of Duty. I think it was Black Ops, either 2 or 3 that came out that year.
Well, like also that year it was World War II. Call of Duty World War II came out that year.
So that one came out, and then also, so I played a lot of like sports games. So I mean, Madden, 2K, 2K16, Madden 16. Though at least 2K16, NBA 2K16. Is arguably one of the best NBA games or 2K games that were made, in my opinion. So if someone has any different opinions, that's theirs. But I think that was one of the best 2Ks ever made. So you have that game. I mean, Madden 16 was amazing. So like all the like everything that I was interested in was like at its peak that year.
Like plus the movies that came out.
And movies too. Like, there were so many good movies that came out.
There was Civil War and like Captain America's Civil War, Rogue One.
I'm a big Marvel fan, so that was a big movie that came out.
Yeah,
That was a big movie that came
yeah,
out.
like, yeah, and there were a few others, but yeah, like I remember, like my dad took me to see The Magnificent Seven. It was a reboot of the original one, like which I never even seen the original one. Before that, so yeah, like it was a Friday. I think it was the day that it came out. It was September 23rd, 2016, and yeah, like I was in math class, and then I got called to check out. In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I got a doctor's appointment or something like that, and Dad said, nope, we are going to the movies with, like, it'll be you, me, and Uncle Jim. And yeah, like we went and ate, and yeah, that was a really good day. Like, and yeah, like that was the first time I've ever seen a Western in theaters, and it was phenomenal. Like, we had such a good time, great time. Like, Chris Pratt and Denzel Washington were in it and stuff like that, and yeah, it was such a great movie. Fun memories and stuff, and yeah, there was that, and I like. Plus, the truck I'm still driving now is 10 years old now. I'm surprised. I've been having like a few issues with it, but not serious issues. But I like it's gotten me through high school and college, especially college. I'm so glad. Like that thing lasted for 4 years in college, and like I didn't have to change a tire or anything, or nothing bad happened and stuff. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, and 2016 was actually the year. I think it was either the year it came out or it's the year that it kind of really got big. So obviously I was driving a Tacoma, so my dream truck. That's always been my dream truck is a Tacoma. I don't know what it is about them. I just love them because obviously they last forever.
Yeah,
they're amazing trucks. But 2016, my favorite one, I think either came out or again it was big that year. But 2016, they came out with the TRD off-road, but it was the desert sand, the tan like colored one or cream colored one, and that it's the most pretty color on a truck that I've seen, at least for me. That's just my opinion again, but that truck was just a nice truck to see going down the roads. Even then, there's just all kinds of things in 2016 that I just felt like everything was at its peak that year.
Yeah. Like also 2016 was the year that my pawpaw passed away. Yeah, like he took me fishing a lot, like when I was little and things like that. And we went hunting some and things, but it's been I can't believe it's been 10 years now.
Yeah,
like that. He'd been with the Lord and stuff. But and let me see what else I have.
We actually kind of go off that too a little bit. So my we call him Pawpaw as well. So my dad's dad, he passed away this past March of 25, and that he was kind of that guy that taught me a lot of things. Especially I have one older sister too. So he taught us how to drive on dirt roads. He taught us to drive in general, but we just learned on dirt roads. He was so influential in us. He taught us how to fish. My dad taught us how to hunt, but he taught us how to fish, and really just, I'm not going to say survive, but he kind of just taught us the things about the outdoors, like what berries to pick, what berries not to pick, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's again just the old wisdom of having that pawpaw around. That was kind of what we did, and then obviously we loved going to his house and staying with him because he'd go back to his room and go to sleep, and we would just be on the couch watching movies and all kinds of stuff. And obviously as your grandparent, he's just like, y'all just have whatever you want, everything's open. So we're just sitting there getting all the snacks, all the drinks.
Like you can eat, drink, whatever you want.
Yep.
Stay up, but there's that. Oh, yeah, like speaking of hunting, have you been hunting this year?
Yes. So I've went. Let's see how many times. I wasn't able to go a lot just because with Chick-fil-a, and so I'm on a leadership track where it kind of puts us in a position where you start off at team member, which is it's the lowest, but you're still obviously you're still important as always. So you start as a team member, but they have you on a fast track where you can kind of grow in the company. But one thing that they really emphasize for leaders is we want you to work 2 Saturdays a month. So, and obviously a lot of times the only time I really can go hunting is the weekend. So it was kind of hard to make that time. But luckily I did get to go a few times, and I mean, we are blessed again to have an amazing place. My dad upkeeps it really well, and it's my dad and my stepmom, her family helps a lot too. So they help do like the fields, like what is it, the food plots, like that kind of stuff. They do a lot of that with my dad, and so I mean, but again, we're blessed where even though I didn't get to go hunting a lot, every time I went, I saw something. But we kind of had the tendency where we hunt also in Georgia, so our season's already over. But we like to basically hunt bucks all year until the end, and then at the end we kind of start killing our does to get meat in the freezer and stuff like that. So that's kind of what we do, just because, at least from our past experience, if we kill does too early, it kind of throws off the bucks when they're rutting and stuff. So we try to hold back on that. But again, I mean, I got to see at least one decent sized buck. This is actually a funny story though. I mean, it was definitely a shooter. I mean, it was. I was going to shoot him, and again, I had probably 15 to 20 deer in the food plot at this point, and how this stand that I was sitting in, we call it the power line because it's on a power line, or a power line runs through it. So I'm sitting there. I have literally like 10 to 15 does literally within 20 yards of the deer stand I'm sitting in. They're all just like staring at me into the deer stand, and this buck is just walking out, just patrolling around, trying to see if he can sniff one of the females that are ready to mate. So he's just going around, literally just nose to the ground, just trying to find just a doe, just to, I guess, to chase or whatever. And I'm trying so hard to get him to stop, and he just won't stop. Then he finally stops, and I've got it set on him and everything. But again, like I said, the does did not take their eye off me. They're just watching me. And so I'm sitting there trying to nudge the fire, or to take the safety off. I'm literally slowly nudging it, and it just clicks, and you just hear, and then the does immediately heard that and took off. And obviously, if they take off, he took off.
Oh man!
So I was sitting there just ready to shoot, and then that click. I knew when the click happened, I was like, oh my gosh! I knew that was gonna happen. And of course, they all darted off except one. There was one little spike just sitting there, like, what's going on, guys? So I mean, and those things happen. But I mean, again, it's fun just being. That's mainly why I love hunting too. Is like just being in God's nature, just getting to see how everything works, and just kind of being. I mean, it's some of the most spiritual times that I have, just sitting in a deer stand, just being able to see God's creation.
Yeah, like, and also spend some quiet time and things like that, like just get away and things. But like I've been going, and I can only hunt like on Fridays and Saturdays. But like I'm still trying to go. Like I plan on going this afternoon, but. Like they're like since last September, there's been three bucks out there. Well, like two are shootable, but like one is like a big 8-point, like with a nice rack, and like he has not been out since September. It's been months since So, but I'm just hoping and praying that he'll come back out towards the end of the season, because it's getting close. And
we always have that happen. Like towards the end of the season, that's when we start seeing, because like they'll come out at the beginning of the season eating and kind of just doing all that, but then once the rut starts, they're in and out because they're just constantly running. So we'll see deer we won't see them for a while. The next thing you know, they pop back up, and they've still, you can tell it's them because and it's crazy too how this works, but every single buck you can just find little details in them that you can like say, hey, oh, that's him, or he has like a crab claw on this side, or something. It's always something you can always say, like, this is him. But they'll always come back, and they're like very underweight, and we see them because they're obviously eating again, trying to get the weight back up. So again, you'll kind of they'll just disappear for like a month or two. They'll just pop right back up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh wow, here he is again. And then you're right back at it, like, oh, I got to get out there,
Yeah.
It happens every single year, and it's just cool to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, well, man, that's all the questions I have, and thank you for coming on. And
absolutely, thank you for having me.
Yeah, hey, anytime. And would you do you have a life verse that you would like to share?
Yes, I have lived by this ever since since I've become a Christian. My favorite verse is Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord trust in the Lord, and do not lean on your own understanding. That's really the biggest thing that I kind of get from those two verses, and it's mainly just because, again, a lot of times when I grew up just leaning on my own understanding. I wanted to do everything that I wanted to do. I didn't really care what anyone else thought. But then when I got saved, I was like, okay, that no longer needs to be my perspective. My perspective needs to be, where is God leading me? And not only that, but again, like the understanding part too is like, especially now, like getting into adult life, I don't understand a lot of things. I don't know a lot of things. So if I don't trust Him, I'm not going to know anything.
Yeah.
So just relying on Him and trusting that He does know everything and that He is the creator of all. So He knows everything to every detail. So again, do not lean on my own understanding, but trust in Him in all ways and acknowledge Him. Again, just acknowledge Him that He really is God. That He's not just this fictional character that we made up, but God is who He says He is, and trust that He is that person. And just lean on Him for everything.
Awesome. All right. Yeah, would you close us out?
Yeah, absolutely. Dear God, thank you for today. Just thank you for allowing us just to be together and have this podcast, God. Just thank you for Tyler and everything he's doing, God. Just pray that you bless his ministry as he continues to work here at Ozark Baptist, God. And just I pray for me as well, as whatever doors you open for both of us, God, that we just seek those opportunities and that we just, again, just take part in everything that you have for us, God, that we just lean on you and trust in you in everything that we do, God. And again, just thank you for the blessing it is to be able to be on this podcast and just be alive today, God. Just thank you for everything you do for us. And God, just pray that as we go out today that you just keep us safe and you just keep us healthy, God. And again, I just pray that we take these opportunities that you give us every single day to just bless you and honor you in everything that we do. And again, God, just thank you for today, and I just pray that you keep us safe and keep us blessed in your name. Amen.
All right, guys. We'll see y'all next time on the Pro Time Podcast.